Good morning, everyone. We are here at MINExpo 2024, starting the show off strong in the Liebherr booth on top of the R9400E. We just sat through their press conference on electrification, which was very interesting, and a write-up on that will be coming to our website, so look out for that. But we are here to kick off the show and show you all the interesting things we come across.
We just came out of the press conference. We're over on the technology side of the booth, and we're going to start over here with something pretty interesting. This is the power rail, which is a scale model here, of course, because this would be pretty large to bring into the actual show. This is a part of their solution for battery electric power, which includes this rail system here that the haul trucks will be able to tether to and charge.
All right, we are still here in the Liebherr booth. I'm here with Marco Mueller, who's going to talk us through the S1 Vision.
Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm happy to take a moment to introduce to you the S1 Vision concept. The S1 Vision concept is a breakthrough innovation developed at our facility in Newport News. And the S1 Vision highlights one single axle with a self-balancing system for increased stability. We have a zero turn radius for enhanced maneuverability, and the use cases and the application we're thinking about have a wide range. We're thinking about mining applications, but we could also envision this new concept on the construction side, for example, for earth moving tasks. We can envision it also for warehousing logistics, or potentially even in the agricultural industry for farming or harvesting. Some of the key features and the benefits of the S1 Vision is we have an electric drive, meaning that we are zero emissions. We have the zero turn radius, which allows us to go back and forth, have a zero turn, enhanced maneuverability. We also have easy serviceability due to the reduced components, which also decrease the maintenance costs. And that's about it. Thank you very much.
So just a few questions before we wrap up here.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is the prototype version. When you go to full production, how large of a unit do you think will be produced?
So we have a very wide window of payload capacity that we're thinking about. We can start with payloads from 145 kilograms up to 145 tons.
Wow, quite a large range.
Yes.
And what is the estimated timeline on this product?
So this is really a vision, it's a concept, it's our first prototype showcasing the innovative capabilities of Liebherr. And we're seeking out for the customer feedback here at MINExpo. We will also then bring the product to Bauma in 2025. Hope to get some positive feedback from our customers, and then we will see and decide on the future direction of the product.
All right, thank you very much for your time, Marco, and we look forward to following up with you at Bauma next year.
Yeah, thank you very much, appreciate it.
Thank you. A major theme of this year's MINExpo has been sustainability, electric and battery technologies, but another very interesting thing that we've seen here at the Liebherr booth is the implementation of hydrogen-powered engines. So beside me here is the H966, which is a hydrogen-powered engine that they are developing for use in their mining equipment. It's a bit of a departure from the normal battery electric technologies that we've seen in other aspects of the industry, but I think it is very interesting. All right, we're over here on the crane side of the Liebherr booth, which is very familiar to us. If you saw our video from ConExpo on the LR1700 and our other videos with Bay Crane Service. So we are here with Craig Lane, who's going to talk about this LRT 1100 line.
Yes, I am the regional sales manager for the West Coast, to cover 5 states for the Western United States, and we brought this out because it's a very fitting machine to run in mines, as it is a 100 metric ton and 110 US ton machine. Very versatile, mobile crane that has 164 feet of main boom, double swing away jib, and then it has a 7-foot rigging jib, which holds a lot of capacity. We didn't always have that jib, but we just developed it now. And from the top of it, you're able to do a lot of versatile work. We call it two-line work, to where you can run the main boom and the whip line, so the hook and the ball, so you can manipulate tanks, components, trucks of beds, things of that nature. But it's able to travel on the mine site with all the counterweight on there and be very, very versatile. So it can go up and down roads, good inclination roads, and can be versatile to lift all kinds of components. We've sold a few of these into mines, and they seem to be working very well so far.
And what's different with this rough terrain crane compared to your previous rough terrain cranes?
So the previous rough terrain cranes, a long, long time ago, that Liebherr made, they're still running at the factory, believe it or not. They're doing well. So this is the middle size one we have. The LRT 1090 is 100 US ton, and it has a power boom, versus this one is a pinning boom like a conventional all-terrain crane.
Sure, yep.
So this one is, I wouldn't say you need to be a super experienced operator, but it's going to take a little more. If your operators can run an all-terrain, they can run this one easily, versus if you have a fleet that you need to bear rent out, the LRT 1090 seems to be a little easier machine to operate. But both have the same controls. If you can run this, you can run either one of them with a similar controls. And also we came out the new LRT 1130, which is a 140 US ton crane. So it's basically the biggest rough terrain crane on 2 axles.
All right, we're up here in the cab of the LRT 1100 with Shannon Sizdek, and he's going to walk us through the cab controls.
Yes, hello. So our RT has steering. Of course, it's a rough terrain machine, so we have steering controls, we have throttle controls, brake controls. Here for driving is our neutral, drive and reverse selector. Then we have our, most important for operating the crane, is our 2 master switch, which controls our telescoping, swing, hoisting features, which is our standard crane operation. Below the master switches, we have all of our additional controls for telescoping, starting the engines, lights, steering modes. We have outrigger controls to where we can raise or lower, run the outriggers down. When we're finished, we can raise them up and then bring them in and travel to the next position. Up here on this control panel here, we have some accessories, wipers, we have lighting, we have cab tilt for inclination, working at heights. Like I said, lighting, aircraft lights, so many features here. We also have a camera, which is for backup, so reversing the machine, we have a clear vision of reversing. One of the things as far as this machine is keep it simple and safe, which is a acronym for KISS. This was the main development, so it's very easy. All the controls are clearly labeled at a fingertip push buttons. And as far as safety, we have our Lecon control system, which basically this monitors all the controls of the crane and also keeps us in with the safe capacity ranges that the crane is designed for. So we have angles, length of boom, we have our capacity, we have radiuses, we have our outrigger monitoring pressures, we have our winch control, we have our slewing, which is our swing degrees. If we're over the front, if we're over the rear, over the side, it keeps monitor for us, which also calculates the load capacity. And it depends on where your outrigger positions are, or if you're on rubber, or if we call what is new with most popular for this crane is what we call vario base. Vario base means we don't have to have a fixed intermediate lengths of outriggers or all the way out. Our outrigger stabilizers could be in any positions for tight areas where you cannot get an outrigger that's all the way out. So this is vario base. It also is an active monitoring system within our Liebherr Lecon control system. That's basically the basic functions of our RT. Keep it simple and safe.
All right, thanks for walking us through this machine.
Thank you.
Here with Derek, we're in front of the 264, and I'll let you take it away here.
Oh, thanks, John. So it's MINExpo 2024. It's very exciting times. In front of us, we have our Liebherr mining truck, which is a diesel-electric truck traditionally. But now today with the push for zero emission, we brought this truck to show to the world that we can basically take the diesel engine out, put in a battery module, and we can get rid of all the fossil-free emissions from the haul truck. So exciting news, big event for us today. The customer here, Fortescue, has purchased a couple hundred of these machines to decarbonize their mine prior to the larger goals of 2050, but a really ambitious goal of 2030. So we're working in collaboration with that customer to meet those objectives.
Okay, so do you want to, we'll walk around the side here and we can talk a little bit more about some of the other power and new features that we have.
So the other thing with the push for zero emissions, with this truck is actually equipped with autonomy, which is basically we take the operator out of the cabin and the truck can actually propel itself and operate itself around the mine site using radars and lidars and cameras to navigate around the mine site. So another new technology that will basically help with the production and the efficiency of the mine. But then with the battery technology, it also helps with the energy management system to maximize the capacity of that battery and get the longest life out of the batteries and reduce the amount of downtime for exchanges and charging. Another unique thing with the battery electrification is that there's two methods we can use for charging. So we can use a traditional charging method like you would on your electric car. There's a cable and you can plug it in. That takes time. It can take 15 minutes, 30 minutes to an hour, depending on which battery chemistry you use. We have another type of technology which is called dynamic charging, which is basically you're going to, while the truck is moving, electrify it. And we traditionally would do that with a trolley system, which we can see up here on the top of the machine. It connects to overhead lines, gets its electric power from there. And then we also have another form of charging, which is the stationary charging over there, which is going to be an automatic robotic arm, which is basically going to connect and charge the machine in lieu of a person using a cable. So giving the customers two different solutions. In combination, if they're able to use both, that's going to give us our longest runtime during the day, which is very important to a production facility.
Okay, let's head up to the cab and talk a little bit more up there. So up here in the cab of the 264, you want to talk about this setup a little bit?
Yeah, thanks, John. So the Liebherr cab is basically set up for comfort, right? So an operator is going to be in here in a traditional truck. They're going to be driving 23 hours, two operators shifting out, so they're going to spend a lot of time in the cab, right? So the idea is if they're comfortable, they're productive. So as you can see from the seats, we have two air ride suspension seats, gives you a lot of comfort. There's a lot of space inside here, so if you look at some of the other OEM trucks, they don't have dual armrests here. A lot of room here. Behind us we have storage space, and then what we've done up on front of the machine is made the machine as ergonomic as possible for the operator. So a good ISO position, good seat position. Everything that you're used to in your car is in one panel. So I want a warning alarm, I want my tachometer, I want my speedometer, and then in another panel we have the HMI human machine interface, which is giving you all the data on the truck. It's giving you fault codes, it's giving you productivity data, it's telling you what type of grade you're on, what kind of tons you're hauling. So the real smarts in the IT these days is basically over here on the right hand side. And then in this panel here we have the traditional, I can get into a car, I can go into a mining truck, and I can drive.
Sure. Everything is it's very easy to read here, and I mean you have, your warning lights are all there. They're all very recognizable symbols, and your gauges are very easy to read. And this is set up amazing too. I mean you have your speed, your RPM, your weight. Everything you need to know is just right here, right in the center. And
the screen is actually a touch screen, so if you were to get a fault or an alarm, the operator can actually toggle through that and see what the alarm is. So for instance, we have a yellow indicating alarm in here, which doesn't mean you need to stop the equipment. You just need to be aware that this is happening. Stop it at your convenience. They can say, okay, I have fault 1125. That means my lube tank is out of grease. They can call into the shop. Should I keep running or should I come into the shop and get repaired? And they'll make that decision. So it's giving you that communication that my truck's telling me how healthy I am. The operator can talk back to dispatch, and so it just makes for a more productive mine site.
Sure. And I see a monitor up here. I'm assuming this is for reverse camera.
Cameras, yes. Yeah. And then we do a lot with
not Picatinny rail, but rail mounts and such, because there will
Sure.
be additional displays in here, dispatch systems, some even more camera information. And then in today's world, this truck here will go to the market without an operator in it because it's autonomous. So all the same features are in here, kind of, but we can take the operator completely out of the cab too, if that's an option.
And we've seen this and had this discussion with a lot of this mining equipment, is that mining is a harsh environment, and so a lot of the time removing the operator is the safest option, especially when you're talking about haul roads and if there's any blasting and all these different situations that you get into on any mine. So we're gonna head outside. We're gonna look at some of the other things we've talked about. So earlier today, right after the press conference, we did see the model over there of the power rail system and how that can be implemented to the side of a haul road versus the lines over top like this trolley system uses. You can see the power cables from that coming right here. Do you want to talk about how that power rail system can be implemented on a truck like this?
Yeah, so in today's world, flexibility is key to mining, especially when you're in like an iron ore application. You may have one mine, but you have various pits and you're going to be moving around a lot and blending. So to utilize the trolley in this instance of the overhead lines, there's a tower and then there's a mast and there's a lot of infrastructure that goes along with that. Not super easy to be moved around. And so what we're doing is listening to the industry and saying, look, with a battery truck, if I can really plug it in for the whole time, I can get the maximum runtime per day.
Sure.
So what Liebherr has done is we've created an alternative solution. It's going to be a lower investment for the infrastructure on the side of the road. It's going to be quicker to install. It can be quicker to be moved. It can be quicker to be expanded on. It'll be about 4 meters off the side of the ground. The truck will have an arm that basically attaches. That arm will be able to move up and down and back and forth. It'll allow the truck to have like a 2.6 meter, 3 meter capability of moving around on the haul road. So again, looking at a better solution. Liebherr likes to be a solution provider, looking at a better solution to help customers maximize the electrification of their electric trucks.
Sure, and as we talked about earlier, it's a big truck, it uses a lot of power, and so having those options to actually connect and charge and run off of that system while running, and it's evident by how large some of these cables are, the amount of power that these trucks need to move the amount of weight that they're moving.
Yes. And this is our small one.
Yeah.
So you can imagine what it looks like on a
They only get bigger.
Yep.
Yeah. So, well, thank you for walking us around, and we'll see you guys on the next piece of equipment here.
Yeah, thank you.